Okay, so basically, as I had painted this is really just the first coat. You could see it usually takes about 3 coats of this paint in order to go on pretty thick. And I had to many times come and touch up because the tape did peel off some of the paint. But I also did this over probably overnight, but you know, every couple hours I would move on to the next step. So I probably did not wait till the paint cured completely, just my impatience. So basically at this point we're ready to move on. We've created half of the houndstooth off the square. We've got this triangle and then we've got this tail, and then we're going to do the same thing on this corner and this tail. So let's draw what it's going to, the future of the pattern is going to look like. It's going to basically have that, and then along here as well. So let's move on to that. And here you see what I'm talking about with the finished product on that. Sometimes when you pull the tape off it's missing parts, but I touched it up. Some of it I left because I am going to give this an antique look, and you'll see that on the blog creativecharlie.wordpress.com. So anyway, we're going to move on. It looks almost like the letter M. Let me draw that. And we're going to finish this tail here and this little devil's ear almost. So after I let that dry completely, I have actually created this other triangle, lining the tape up diagonally. I skipped that photo, but you know, again, I did diagonally, and then I did halfway with the green on the last video. You can go back and look at that tutorial if you like. And then halfway between the corner and the diagonal. And that's where I also put in the tape straight across horizontally, and using the tape here is where you're going to fill in all of these triangle ears. So you're going to repeat that pattern just as we created this first one. Then moving on to the tail, you have this, let's extend this green line. You have this tape that's still there, or you can, actually after you do this triangle here, you're going to want to lift that tape off, because here's another triangle in this corner, and you're going to want to let that dry so you can kind of overlap a little bit. I bought 3 rolls of really cheap tape, so I was not too concerned about conserving my tape. And this is where you're going to create that last tail that's going to come in here. And then these are all horizontal across the top of the squares. So it's getting really muddy here, and it's hard to see exactly what's being painted because there's so much black paint everywhere, but that's the original square. These are the 2 little ears. That's the first line, and this is the last one that we're filling in. And there's just about paint everywhere. And I'm also doing touch-ups. This is what this tape is for, so that any place that's peeled, you can take care of that. But these are all the last areas that are getting done. And as you can see here from the final removal of all the tape, this is what we just finished. The edges are a little rough, but overall, you can really see how the pattern came out really well. And this is a 3-inch square pattern. Just the actual square itself is 3 inches. You can enlarge your houndstooth pattern according to what size you want, but I basically had 1 1/4 inch masking tape, painter's tape, so that's why I chose to go ahead with a 3-inch on this desktop. And you can check back on the blog and see how I finish up this project.